Fox 11 meteorologist Phil DeCastro here. Severe weather index is high. Winter storm Angela is here. The snow will continue overnight, creating slick travel conditions. We'll let you know more about that coming up.
First on Thursday's Fox 11 News at 9.
For much of the winter so far, the temperatures have been seasonably warm. But that all changed today with the arrival of Winter Storm Angela.
We'll also find out why a pilot may have crashed his plane into some trees in Kewaunee County. And finding child care at night. A closer look at how difficult that may be here in northeast Wisconsin.
Your station for balanced news and severe weather coverage. This is Fox 11 News at 9.
On a Thursday night, Winter Storm Angela is still here. The last couple of days, a couple of very different stories. Yesterday, which saw much of the area with record high temperatures in the 50s. Today, we're reminded that, yes, it is January. And that is also creating some slick conditions out on the roads. There have been some accidents around the area, and the snow is not done just yet. Hasn't been a major storm in terms of snow, but it has been a steady one. We begin with meteorologist Phil DeCastro. And Phil, how soon before it moves on?
Well, thanks, Tom. And it looks like it's going to be sticking with us through most of the night. But as you can tell, the intensity already starting to ebb a little bit in terms of the snowfall that's out there. Darker blues indicate some of the heavier snow. Lighter blues indicate, well, the lighter stuff. And you can see how it's generally light blues that we've got through the northeastern parts of Wisconsin. A little bit of heavier snow down further off towards our south. That actually jives pretty well with what we've seen in terms of snowfall totals in Green Bay. About 3 inches in most spots, 3.5 in Appleton. As we move down towards Oshkosh, actually have gotten 4 inches. And these actually are the newest observation is about an hour old. So we're still going to see these pile up just a little bit. And I think in general about 2 to 3 inches more by about 8 a.m. Maybe only 1 to 2 actually at this point. But the blowing still going to be an issue with those winds up to 15 to 25 miles per hour. Storm totals by the time the snow winds down tomorrow morning, around 4 to 6 inches across the area. And today's snow was obviously a major change from the record high January temperatures yesterday. Fox 11's Ben Krumholtz found out firsthand and joins us live with more from the weather deck. Ben?
Phil, it seems hard to believe that just yesterday it was 50 degrees and sunny outside. Yeah, but today people were trading in their rakes for snow shovels. Just goes to show what a difference a day can make when it comes to a Wisconsin winter. In 24 hours, our fall-like weather quickly turned into a distant memory.
Actually, yesterday I went on a run in shorts and a long-sleeve t-shirt, so today was a little bit of a shock.
Those strolls outside are no longer a walk in the park for some, as Winter Storm Angela has brought the weather most Wisconsin residents are used to in January.
It's going to happen sooner or later. I don't like it, but it's going to happen. You put up with it.
We're in Wisconsin, and it's supposed to snow. It's not supposed to be 50 degrees in the middle of January.
For much of the year, people could get by without even wearing a coat outside. Boy, on a day like today, you'd be sorry if you didn't. Yeah, it kind of looks like you'd use this over there. How was I supposed to know? It's in the 50s yesterday.
That's a little bit of a culture shock. Having that happen like that, that's. I mean, when it builds into winter, it's easier to take. Coming from those beautiful temperatures to now, not so much.
While temperatures were prime for golf, the arrival of snow was a welcome sight for Ashwaubenon's Nordic ski team. They wasted no time taking over an area course.
We were roller skiing, and that hurts a lot more because you fall on the road. So I like snow better because it's soft.
I liked it kind of, but I like this better.
The fresh snow might be a welcome sight now, but some guess their attitude could change.
Probably after tomorrow I'd be okay with no snow anymore. The one downfall would be good for me.
Well, believe it or not, this isn't the longest that we've had to wait for our first winter storm. That came back in 2003. Winter Storm Alloway didn't show up until January 31st. Tom?
Ben, thanks, and thanks to both of you. Winter Storm Angela, by the way, did cause some problems for drivers around the road. For example, nobody was hurt after a semi jackknifed on Highway 41 in Appleton today. However, it did back up traffic on the area's major highway. Happened just before 2 o'clock this afternoon on 41 near the interchange with Ballard Road, which is also known as Outagamie County Highway E. The semi landed in a ditch. We checked out not only the dispatchers in Outagamie County, but around the area as well, and they say overall things on the road have been fairly quiet. And the Highway 41 reconstruction project, which spreads from Green Bay to Oshkosh, is slowing down traffic even more in the Fox Cities area. Significant road construction underway from Breezewood Lane in Neenah south to Witzel Avenue in Oshkosh. And the construction across the Lake Butamore Bridge is creating specific challenges for plow truck drivers. Because of the work, the highway's been narrowed and often there is no shoulder area, and that leaves few options for plow drivers to dump the snow.
Just give them some room. Our guys are out there to help people. They're not out there. I realize we go slower than everybody, but we're out there to help people. We're not out there to hinder you on purpose.
If you lose control of your vehicle, there's a chance that you'll hit the concrete barrier. So it's very important wherever you're traveling, but specifically in the construction zone, to slow down.
The State Patrol says it will pay extra attention to the construction zones during snowstorms. Also tonight, alcohol is believed to have been a factor in an early morning plane crash in Kewaunee County. The Sheriff's Department provided us with these pictures. You can see the small private plane stuck in some trees. It's in a forested area just east of Denmark. Authorities say the pilot, a 38-year-old man from Port Washington, walked to a nearby home for help. That was about 2:30 this morning. The pilot, who was also alone in the plane, was taken to a hospital in Green Bay. Charges were filed today against a Fond du Lac mother accused of trying to kill her 6-year-old daughter. Kenna Bowe was in court. Prosecutors say last week, Bowe gave her daughter a handful of sleeping pills before taking some herself. Police say Bowe then tried to stab her boyfriend while he was asleep. However, he awoke, broke away from her, and called police. Bowe's daughter has been treated at an area hospital and released. Green Bay police are investigating shots fired on the city's west side. Multiple shots reported around 11 o'clock last night in the area of 9th Street and South Oneida. Officers spent hours today searching the area, talking with people. Investigators say at least 9 bullet casings were found. They say witnesses told them 2 or 3 vehicles were chasing each other with what sounded like gunshots coming from one of the vehicles. One resident found a bullet in the side of his duplex.
I didn't even know it was gunfire. I thought it was like fireworks or something. It's just 2 loud pops.
It does not appear that this was a situation where a home was targeted. It appears that this was a situation of 2 vehicles, 2 or 3 vehicles possibly targeting one of the other vehicles.
No one was hurt in the incident. As of now, police say they do not have any suspect descriptions to give out, and they say the vehicle descriptions are even quite vague. Still to come for us tonight, winter finally found its way to northeast Wisconsin, as we've been saying, and the Packers are now asking for help to get some of that snow out of Lambeau Field before Sunday's game. We'll show you and tell you how you can get involved coming up. Also, how one organization is looking to help out with nighttime daycare. That story at 9:20.
Still dealing with snow out there across northeastern Wisconsin, generally hugging the Lake Michigan shoreline. Still some lighter snow as you move back out into the north central parts of the state and the central parts of the state. Looks like the heaviest stuff, though, still off towards the southern parts of our viewing area, where actually some of the higher totals have been coming in. That snow going to be sticking with us through most of the overnight hours. Starts to taper off early tomorrow morning, around the low of 16 degrees before we only get back up into the low 20s for the afternoon highs tomorrow, with lots of those clouds sticking around as well. We're keeping that severe weather index high for the overnight hours, snowy and windy for us, until we start to get again until the early morning hours. Tomorrow, I think that's when that snow really starts to lighten up. But even then, I think we could keep that at moderate, since road conditions might still be an issue. Winter Storm Angela continuing overnight is the weather story, and we still do have plenty of advisories in place. And most of these advisories, as you might imagine, are in place till the morning hours. Right now in Brown County, this weather advisory in place until 9 a.m. Some of those other ones actually expire a little bit earlier than that as you move out westward. 6 a.m. is when it expires in Menominee County, but as you move back down to Manitowoc County, also an expiration date of 9 a.m. So That snow expected, again, to hang on a little bit longer, closer to Lake Michigan and end a little bit earlier as you move out points west of there. Still, light snow hanging around through most of the area. 19 in Green Bay as well as in Appleton, 21 Wapaka, 19 in Clintonville, 19 Manitowoc. That fog in Sheboygan, probably actually a little bit of light snow. Sometimes those automated sensors can get a little bit tricked by some light snow. Think it's fog. As we look at the winds, they're starting to kick up as well, 15 to 20 miles per hour. We can see some gusts actually closer to 30 miles per hour at times during the overnight hours. So again, the blowing snow could be an issue. Here's a satellite radar combo, still dealing with plenty of that snow out there. The temperatures also cooling off as the system continues to pull on away from the area. You see that snow sticking around again to the early morning hours tomorrow. That pulls away. We're still left with plenty of clouds for Saturday, or for Friday. For Saturday, it looks like a weak area of low pressure tries to swing through, but I think it dies before it gets here, so don't think we see anything more than maybe a couple of flakes. How about in terms of snow from this point on? Doesn't look like we'll be seeing much more than another couple of inches, about another inch. This model actually starts at 6 p.m. is when this initializes, so thinks about 1 inch will fall between 6 and 10. I think that's about accurate in terms of what has fallen, and then picking up perhaps another inch or two during the rest of the overnight hours in most spots. Again, highest amounts through Kewaunee, Manitowoc, and down towards Sheboygan. For tonight, 16 degrees, blustery, more snow sticking with us by tomorrow. Storm totals end up around 4 to 6 inches, colder, some AM flurries before we dry out. And then for Saturday, mostly cloudy, chance for a little bit of afternoon snow. But again, I think that'll be dying out as it reaches us. Your extended forecast, at the very least, it will start to moderate a bit. The temperatures will by the time we reach the Packers game on Sunday. Getting all the way up to a balmy 28 degrees for that high. I think only in Green Bay could you say that that's improvement for the weather.
Well, the mayors of Green Bay and New York are making a rather cheesy bet on this weekend's game. Packers win, New York Mayor Mike Bloomberg will send cheesecake and salsa this way. If the Giants win, Green Bay Mayor Jim Schmidt will send cheese curds and hometown-made root beer to the Big Apple. Well, for their part, the Packers were back on the practice field getting ready for Sunday's game today. Drew joins us now in the Sports Center with what we can expect tonight on the playoff report, and then you got some hoops to tell.
Yeah, indeed, busy night tonight. Packers, of course, had what Mike McCarthy's called a couple of very focused practices so far. Coming up tonight, we'll talk about what to expect from the team on Sunday. How are they going to slow down that offensive attack of the New York Giants? Plus, we've got lots of your photos and comments. We'll update you on the injury report. And our Cover It Live blog is up and running. We got folks on here chatting already. Just go to fox11online.com. Join in the discussion. More on that in a minute. But the Wisconsin Badgers on the road tonight taking on Purdue. And Bo Ryan's club trying to break a 3-game slide. Badgers look good early. Josh Gasser from way downtown. Oh, the bank's open late at night. That's okay. Made it 14-4 than Jordan Taylor, finding Ben Brush for the 22-4 lead. Boilermakers did get within a bucket, but Badgers hold on for the 67-62 win. Green Bay men trying to stay unbeaten at home, hosting Detroit. They did have a lead in this one, but Brennan Kugel, the big man, watch him, he hits the 3. Put the Phoenix up 1, but the Titans close on a 20-9 run. They win at 80-73 is the final first home loss for the Phoenix this year. The Phoenix women remain undefeated. They beat Wright State 68-50. Julie Wida with 20 points, 17 rebounds for Green Bay, who are pushing their way toward the top 10. Little high school action now. Xavier hosting Little Chute. Eastern Valley Conference play tonight. The Hawks, Michaela McCurrick, that deep 3, very nice. Then Morgan Dirks for the break in the press for the Mustangs. Morgan Lenoble doing her part, hitting the jumper. No final yet called in from this one. Playoff report starts in about 15 minutes. We're live in our chat right now, so come on over.